Dinas, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom. Big announcement. I am now proud to be sponsored by BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com. They are an online counseling service. They pair people with online counselors. They're international, which means that if you're in the UK, which I've heard a lot of you guys tell me, hey, there's no good counselors here, or oh my gosh, I'm on a waiting list that's ridiculously long. If you're in the UK, if you're overseas, if you're India, Italy, any of the places, France, any of the places that have contacted me, Singapore, any of the places that have contacted me, and hello UK, yes, I'm talking to you, that have contacted me and said, oh my gosh, the wait list is ridiculous, I can't find a good counselor. Or if you're here in the States and you're in a rural area and you don't want to go to the counselor in your town because you run into them all the time at the grocery store, get on to BetterHelp, BetterHelp, and my URL is going to be pinned to the top as soon as John figures out how to do that. So when you click on that URL, it will take you to BetterHelp. You'll fill out a couple of questions, and then they will pair you with, if you're in the States, a counselor in your state. If you're international, they'll pair you with a counselor that fits your needs, no matter where they are. So that is so cool. I am so excited about that because I've heard so many people tell me, I'm in a small town, I don't like the counselors around here, they don't understand, they don't know how to do it, or I'm in a place where the wait list is ridiculously long. So yeah, that is, I'm so excited to be sponsored by them. It just makes me very, very happy. Okay, so I think I covered all of the things I need to talk about with that. If you are interested in purchasing my books, where did my other book go? I now have What's Wrong with Your Dad in stock. So it is in stock. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, it's available on my website. Also, my mugs are available and the shipping is included, guys. I don't care where in the world you are. Shipping is included. Why? Because I want to get these out of my office. So these are for sale on my website, which is chriscodinas.com. Okay, Shahida's book and Susanna Quintana's book, I want you to get, because these are great books. Where's my other? I am so not organized today, dear Lord. Anyway, Shahida's book is amazing. So Susanna and Shahida, John, if you could put both of their websites up so people can find their books, that would be great. Okay, so for the BetterHelp website, it's going to be https://trybetterhelp.com/chriscodinas. And that way this channel gets the sponsorship. So make sure you go through that portal.
It's pinned to the top.
It's pinned to the top. There we go. Fantastic. Thank you, Johnny. All right. So, jump back. Lots of stuff. I'm just so excited. I've been so nervous. I've been like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Anyway. All right. So today's topic is cheaters. So there's been so many questions coming in and so much heartbreak, I think, when a narcissist leaves their target, when they leave the person that they've been using for narcissistic supply, it is heartbreaking when they do the whole romantic triangle thing. So let's talk about narcissism and romantic triangles. So narcissists need to have a romantic triangle. They just do. And what that means is, again, it's like the drama triangle. It's the villain, the hero, and the victim, right? So in this case, they like a harem. They really do. They like a little harem of men or women around them. And it doesn't matter sex. It doesn't. So let's just wrap your heads around this. So oftentimes what abusers will do is they will cheat. They get caught cheating, and then they'll start doing the whole, oh, I was wearing protection. Oh, it was safe. Oh, it was okay. Honey, listen to me now. Believe me later. If your abuser has cheated on you, or you even think they've cheated on you, do yourself a favor. Go get tested. Trust me on this. They don't wear protection. They don't. Why? Because what's one of the main things that narcissists like to do? If they are male, they want to impregnate somebody so that they can trap them with them or be connected to them for the next 18 years. If they are female, they want to get pregnant so they can entrap somebody for the next 18 years. So yeah, protection is usually not used when these particular sets of cheaters are cheating. And the incident of sexually transmitted diseases is much higher than the general population. So let's talk about the difference between a couple that's drifting apart and a narcissistic abuser that is creating a harem or doing whatever they're doing. And when I say harem, that harem can be the same sex, it can be the opposite sex, it can be male, it can be female. It doesn't matter to these people. So, and we're going to get into more detail about that. So, okay, in a non-personality disordered relationship, if the couple starts drifting apart, what generally is happening is a lack of communication. That is generally what I see. So when I work with couples and they come in and they're, fighting and they're drifting apart and one of them is thinking of leaving or one of them is thinking of cheating or whatever, it's generally because the needs are not being met because the communication skills are non-existent. Like, I'm sorry, calling somebody a name is not a term of endearment, especially if it's not a nice name. And you don't want to do that. So, but I have people come in and sit on my couch and they start throwing names at each other, and the anger is incredible and the lack of hearing is amazing. So in these types of relationships, in non-personality disordered relationships, there was never anybody to teach them how to listen. So there's no reflective listening going on. What they're doing is they're listening to mount a defense worthy of an attorney. Basically, they're not hearing what's being said. They've already got it up in their own mind. Now, narcissists do that as well. Absolutely. So in a relationship that can be healed, there is a lack of communication. You work on the communication skills, you get them understanding this is not a good way to communicate. Let me teach you how to communicate. They start hearing each other. They start being validated, right? They start turning towards each other instead of away from each other. That's basic John Gottman stuff. So John Gottman is a couples counselor up in Washington, I think it is. And in every single study he's ever done, the least successful couples were the ones that started turning away from each other. And the ones that succeeded were the ones that turned to each other. So that's in a healthy, relatively healthy, non-personality disordered relationship that can be healed. In a narcissistic relationship, there is not a technique on the face of the planet that's going to save that relationship because the narcissist does not want to be healed. Narcissist is never wrong, never made a mistake in their entire lives. They're saints or whatever. And their agenda is, I need a harem. I need a backup plan. I need a back door. I need, it's almost like an addict, So like in working with addicts, they would always kind of leave this back door kind of open. It's like, well, I'll quit using on the weekdays, but I'll use on the weekends. No. You stop using, period. But it's the same thing with a narcissist. So it's like they've got their main relationship, but then they've got escape routes all over the place. They've got like this whole harem of people, male and female. So with a narcissist, they have to have somebody boosting up their very, very fragile little sense of self, okay? And that's why they've got the harem. And they're dishonest like nobody's business as the day is long. And what they will do is they will be having the affairs. They will be cheating. And yet you're the one that's being accused of being unfaithful. Let's talk about that. That is projection. So if you are in a relationship where the person is constantly accusing you of cheating and you're not, hey, I'm faithful, what the heck? They're telling you what they're going to do. This is what narcissists, this is why they're so freaking predictable. Swear, hand to heart, whatever. Anyway, they will tell you what they are doing under the guise of, I'm blaming you, you're the one doing it, how dare you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When in reality, they're the ones doing it. They're the ones cheating. They're the ones having the affairs. They're the ones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's done with projection. So they can't acknowledge or admit that they're in the wrong. So this is a couple of articles I really, really, really wanted to read to you. And in particular, the emails that I've been getting, they're heartbreaking. It's like, I loved this person. I gave them everything. Why are they cheating? And some of the things that narcissists say, as to why they're cheating, they always put it back on the victim, which the victim, the target, I hate using the word victim, but to the target. So the target is already feeling low self-esteem because the narcissist is like, you're the problem, you're this, you're that, you. And then when they get caught red-handed cheating, they flip it around and they make it the target's problem. Like it's all the target's fault. Like the target put a gun to their head and said, I need you to go out and cheat. What? No. Yeah, they do. So, okay, let's talk about this. So I pulled a couple of articles off of Psychology Today that I really thought were really good. Okay. Why does your partner constantly cheat? And this was written in 2019, so 2 years ago. 2 years ago, good Lord, by Stephanie A. Sarkis, who's a PhD. And here's the thing. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention about BetterHelp. They're all PhD level and master level. So you don't have to worry about getting somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. They're PhD level and master level. Sorry. Whew, brain gone. Okay, so, all right. So why does your partner constantly cheat? Gaslighters and narcissists are chronic cheaters. So if you're experiencing gaslighting, hello, there's a good chance. It doesn't matter how good of a partner you are or how much your life you've devoted to them because they demanded it. They will still cheat. But why is infidelity so common to this toxic personality? They are constantly looking to refill their narcissistic supply. Gaslighters / narcissists have a bottomless pit of need. It's like nothing can ever fill them up. It doesn't matter. You could be the most amazing person on the face of the planet and they will still find fault with you because it's really about them. They cannot acknowledge or deal with the fact that they are the ones that have got this black hole inside of them. All right, so they'll make it about you. However, no matter how much you give up for the gaslighter or narcissist and focus all your attention on them, they will still cheat. No matter how much. I mean, let's say you gave up your job. Let's say you gave up your pet. Let's say you pushed your kids out of the house. Let's say you did any of that stuff. The narcissist will still demand more. It is a never-ending black hole. It's like getting sucked into a black hole. You know how light gets sucked into a black hole, never to be seen again? Same thing. Same exact thing. Okay. It has everything to do with their pathology. Gaslighters / narcissists will cheat, especially if their personality skews towards being less responsible and having low impulse control, self-discipline. They love bomb you at the beginning of the relationship and then take delight in devaluing you. So some of these cheaters, and I think I've talked about this before, and I'm going to take this off and use my glasses. Some of these cheaters are sadists, okay? We've talked about this before. They delight in harming. They enjoy it. They do. And it is intentional. It absolutely is intentional. And it is heartbreaking when a target of abuse comes in and they're just sobbing. I've been replaced. He's dating this person or she's dating that person. And I don't understand why. I gave them everything, because remember, male, female, doesn't matter. They can be both sexes and they can cheat with either or both, and I'm going to talk more about that. So don't let me forget about that. Anyway, so they do the devalue and they enjoy it. And because remember, they need that drama triangle, a villain, a victim, and a hero. In their mind, they're always the hero. You're the villain, and their new supply is the victim. And so they set up divide and conquer. They set up little dramas so that you're constantly vying for their attention, their love, their whatever, their fidelity, right? So, and they enjoy that, and they're sadists, and that's why they do it. And it is absolutely 110% intentional. And we're going to get to more things that they say that will let you know that it's intentional. So hold on. These were some really good, oh my gosh, articles. Hang on. Okay. They love bomb at the beginning of your relationship and then they devalue you. You will never be able to do anything right, especially once they've been caught. According to the gaslighting narcissist, at the beginning of your relationship, it seemed like you could do no wrong. But the gaslighter narcissist told you that you were perfect and that you were everything they were looking for. Sound familiar? That they never felt this way before. And then suddenly things changed. The narcissist started picking on you. A little thing here, a little thing there, drip, drip, drip of the nastiness. Then it seemed like no matter what you did, seriously, If you did exactly what they wanted you to do, they damned you for it. If you did something different trying to please them, they damned you for it. If you twisted yourself into a pretzel, they damned you for it. So nothing you did was right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is because the narcissist puts you up on a pedestal until they know you're hooked. And then when you fall off that pedestal, it is a long way down. And this has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Let me just say that again. The way the narcissist acts, if they're cheating, this is all about them. Yeah, which is funny because it's all about them anyway. But in this case, it's all about them. This is their pathology. This is their nastiness. This is their sadism. It has nothing to do with you. It's not that you're not handsome enough or sexy enough or beautiful enough or funny enough or smart enough or anything else. This has to do with them. Okay, where was I? Okay, it's a long way down. It has nothing to do with you, even though it feels deeply personal. It is a character trait of the narcissist. They blame you for the cheating. I swear, hand to heart. This is what they do. They blame the target for the cheating. And I'm going to go over some of the things that they say. Maybe I should go over that now. Oh, good Lord. I cannot see without my glasses. Good Lord. All right. Hang on. So they blame you for the cheating. And here's how they do it. So this is a different article that I pulled. Did I not print the other page? Okay, this page was also, it's by Bill Eddy. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so Bill Eddy is the one who wrote Splitting with Randy Krieger. So this is Bill Eddy wrote this one. This is also on Psychology Today. And all I did was type in cheaters, narcissists, and bada bing, bada boom, all of these articles popped up. So anyway, Bill Eddy is also the co-author of Splitting, which you're going to need if you're getting a divorce from one of these yahoos. So, all right. So Bill Eddy wrote this. This is on Psychology Today. So here is the total that they told you as to why they were cheating. Here we go. Get your waders out. It's going to get deep. Okay. You don't pay enough attention to me. Please, really? Despite demanding endless attention and admiration, another narcissistic trait in the DSM-5, they cannot absorb it. They can't. You can sit there and tell them until you're blue in the face how fabulous they are and how much you love them, which we all have done, hello, or we would not be here. And yet they can't absorb it in. It is endless. Again, black hole. You cannot fill that black hole. Not your job. The only person who can do that is them, and they're not going to because they don't want to do the work. Okay. Hang on. All right. So they really believe that they are not, they believe this. This is a belief. They really believe that they are not being paid enough attention, even though you may be exhausted from paying attention to them so much. There's a common saying that narcissists suck all the oxygen out of a room. Boy, that is the truth. And can truly feel that way as they demand all of the attention. So they, in their mind, it's magic thinking, and it's evil magic thinking. They really firmly believe that you're not giving them enough attention, even though, like I said, you've kicked the kids out, you've gotten rid of your animals, you're paying 100% attention to them. It's not enough. No, in their mind, no, it's not enough because they can't absorb it. They can't absorb it. So, okay. Here's the other ones that really get me. Oh, Lord. All right. You don't respect me enough. What? Yeah. Narcissists demand disproportionate amounts of respect. When they do something small or routine, they expect you to excessively praise them. So like they do something that a normal person would do on an everyday basis, like say, for example, the dishes or take out the garbage. And they expect you to literally throw them a parade and tell them how fabulous they are and, you know, all of that. And it's like, I'm sorry, but that's part of a healthy, normal relationship is doing housework. Hello? Yeah, they don't get that. They know. They don't get that. They do not get that. So they expect this ridiculous amount of praise for doing normal behavior. Remember the time that I fixed this? Remember the time I took out the garbage? You probably could have done it more easily or quicker, but she or he still wants you to be in awe of them. On the other hand, when you do something really worthy of respect, they're indifferent. They don't care because it's not about them. Or worse, they're jealous. And quickly change the subject. So you get a promotion at work. You do something and are recognized by your community. You get some sort of praise or something from somebody, and they will downplay it. They will denigrate it. They will, or they'll get pissy and jealous because you're getting the attention they think they deserve, even though they haven't done anything to deserve said attention. That's part of the DSM. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. All right. Most narcissists rely heavily on those closest to them to help repair themselves after their numerous narcissistic injuries when other people or real life treats them as not superior at all. Okay, you have too many rules. How old does that sound? So the average narcissist is operating, if you're lucky, on a good day and the wind is blowing in the right direction, on that of probably maybe a 4-year-old, maybe a 3-year-old, something around in there. They're not terribly emotionally mature. They seriously are acting like children, like small children. You have too many rules. Narcissists hate rules, such as, hey, don't sleep with somebody else. Pfft, go figure. So, they hate rules because they want to be free to do what they want. Do what I want. That's literally their theme song. They consider themselves above the rules. The rules don't apply to them, which is, hello, say it with me, antisocial personality disorder, which is now we're talking dirt triad. No bueno. Okay, so there is that. You have too many rules. Okay, so they're above the law. They are superior. Why should they have to abide by any laws at all? So you made an agreement. AKA, got into a serious relationship, agreed to be monogamous, agreed to marry, made vows. They mean nothing to these people. Nothing. Listen to me now, believe me later. Rules don't mean anything to them. Vows don't mean anything to them. Agreements mean nothing to them. They will march over those agreements and decimate them. Okay. They feel like they shouldn't have to. There's always a reason. So expect that agreements will be routinely broken or totally forgotten. It is not a two-way street. You have to follow the rules, but they shouldn't have to. So you have to be faithful. You have to do all the housework. You have to do whatever, male or female. Remember, this is not just men who are narcissists. Women do this too. Women narcissists do this too. I've seen it over and over and over again. So yeah, the rules don't apply to them, but damn it, you better follow the rules. So it's kind of, don't do as I say, not as I do, that kind of thing. That's just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, which is odd because my dad used to say that a lot. Go figure. If you're involved in a court case, such as a divorce, they won't allow the judge's orders because the judge didn't understand how superior the narcissist is. And therefore, the order doesn't need to be followed over and over again. I see this. They violate orders because the rules don't apply to them. If they don't like the rules, they won't follow them. And that's why they end up in trouble. And then they don't understand why they're facing all these contempt of court charges. The judge didn't understand how superior they were. They don't need to be followed. In business, they consider themselves free to change plans without telling you and often looking for a better deal from someone else, which is how they treat relationships. They're looking for a better deal from someone else. Like I said, backdoor. It's like, where's my escape hatch? Where's the next best narcissistic supply? Where can I get somebody to stroke my ego? That's all they care about. Who will see them as the superior person they are, and they don't have as many rules. Let them get away with murder, in other words. In politics, they often justify breaking rules because of someone else's behavior, or they go on a mission to eliminate the rules and regulations that might constrain them. The relationship is too confining. You're confining me. I feel smothered. But in the meanwhile, they're grabbing your phone and going through it. They're texting you 100,000 million times wanting to know where you are and who you're with and what are you doing and how come you're talking to your coworker who's the opposite sex or maybe even the same sex. Who knows? They're jealous of everybody. Doesn't matter because they would get with anybody and everybody. They would absolutely get with anybody who stroked their ego, who gave them narcissistic supply. So they'll accuse you of the same thing because they cannot fathom that not everybody thinks as evilly as they do. Don't get me started. Too late. Okay, back to it. All right, so here's another thing they say. All right, so the relationship is too confining. Narcissists are often driven to have multiple relationships, to have more sources of narcissistic supply, people to fawn to them and give them excessive attention. They may have affairs. How about they will? They do have affairs during the marriage. It's very rare that they don't. And if you don't know about it, then they're really good at being psychopathic and hiding it. So sometimes even 2 or more at once. Again, harem. They need a harem. They need a backup supply. But they want understanding of their superior needs. So they eventually may not try to keep them secret, but instead demand your tolerance. You should allow this because I have a greater sexual appetite than you do, and da-da-da-da. So they're cutting sex off from you, but they're going out and they're, having sex with her, and then they're making it because you're the problem. Again. Oh, yeah. Okay. They understand. Okay, they demand your tolerance since they are someone special with uniquely strong needs. At work, they want to come in late and leave early or not be held accountable at all. They may treat their employees disdainfully, but kiss up to their own superiors to avoid having consequences for their actions. They want to be their own boss, but they want the benefits of the organization taking care of them. So, okay, so this is just, again, more of their BS. Okay, you treated me unfairly. They say that all the time. It's, well, you didn't give me what I needed. Well, did you tell the person? No, you didn't, because this is not your end game. Their end game is to have a harem. Their end game is to cheat. Their end game is to whatever. You treated me so unfairly. This may be the most common grievance at all. It means that you have treated them as an ordinary person rather than the fantasy of a superior person that they are holding on to. Or you called them out for something. You criticized them. You held them accountable. They can't stand that. So that's why, oh Lord, that's why when you catch them in the act, like literally okay, here we go. We're going to talk here. Catching them in the act. The person walks into the bedroom and they are, in the middle of it with another person. They will deny, oh, this isn't what you think it is. I'm sorry, what? Care to tell me what you think it is? Because I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here. I did have sex ed in high school. Hello. It's just, oh my freaking God. Do you see where I'm going with that? So they will in the middle of being caught, literally, what is it? Indeflegato. I can't remember. It's some Latin term. Middle of sex. Anyway, so they're in the middle of sex. They get caught red-handed, and they're like telling you, "Oh no, these are not the droids you're looking for." That doesn't work, guys. Sorry. So yeah, they will do that, and they'll tell you you're misunderstanding it. Or like earlier, they'll say, "Well, come join us." But here's the catch. I have had several cases of the narcissist encouraging and insisting the partner to engage in a threesome. They'll videotape it, and then they'll hold that over their head, which is known as revenge porn, which is a federal offense. Thank you very much. But they'll use that as I'm going to harm you. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to, and it's so weird. It's like they don't want the target, really. Well, they want the target dead, really, when you get down to it. They don't necessarily want to keep the target, but they'll be damned if the target is going to leave on their terms. So in other words, it's perfectly okay for them to cheat and, blackmail and all of this stuff and hold it over the target's head, and they leave. But if the target leaves, that's when they pull out I'm going to blackmail you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, intimidation, stalking, oh, you go vault, all of that stuff. So, okay, hold on. Ow. Okay, so here we go. No. Okay. You treated me so unfairly. Okay. Yet for the narcissist who believes they are superior, it feels like excessive criticism when you catch them in the act or when you call them on their stuff. To receive the same level of criticism as anyone else would because of their own behavior. So they tend to claim credit for the work of others and deny responsibility for the work that they were supposed to do. They also often get more criticism than others, yet they can't connect this to their own behavior. So they're always looking for a blame. They're looking for somebody else to blame. Well, you made me cheat. That's another one I've heard. You made me cheat. You did this to me. Oh my freaking God. Victim much? Hello. Any negative feedback feels unfair to them. Okay. They are very charming, obviously, and they count on that charm to get them through the worst of their behavior. So this is why they're so dangerous. Okay, so they blame you for the cheating. They accuse you of cheating with no proof. think we talked about that. Projecting, because it takes the focus off of their own cheating. The more you scurry around, and that's what they're looking for. So remember when we talked earlier about not explaining yourself. So narcissists love to put us on the defensive. If they can get us on the ropes, they've won. If they can get us defending ourselves, they've won, because they've taken the focus off of them and they're putting it back onto the target, who's sitting here going, but I'm faithful. But see, look, here's my phone. But see, look, here I'm not having. If somebody's playing that game with you, get out. Get this book, Splitting, and get out. It's not going to get better. Trust me on that one. So yeah, it's projection, because they can't accept or acknowledge that they are the ones doing this. And so it's got to be your fault. It takes the focus off of their own cheating. The more you scurry trying to figure out why he or she is a gaslighter narcissist, and the more they are accusing you of cheating, the more you aren't looking at what is happening right in front of you. And that's exactly how the narcissist wants it. Okay, they don't take any precautions with their sexual health. And I talked about this. If you are in an abusive relationship and you suspect there's cheating, go get tested. Go get tested. It's for your own health, seriously. And they don't take precautions. They think they're above it. They honestly don't think that they're ever going to get any of the common diseases because they're so above it. Yeah. Well, hello, science. Okay. They expect you to tolerate their behavior. Like, they are literally, I'm not even kidding you, when they are caught totally red-handed, and I wish I could think of that Latin term for it, inflagrato? Is that it? Something like that. Anyway, so when they are caught red-handed, they will completely expect you to be okay with it. Like, this is okay. This is fine. Everybody does this. Like, seriously. So just like, how to explain? So when you're with a narcissist, their main goal is to make you like them, and or to kill you, and or both. So what they want you to do is they want you to be eroding your moral compass little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit. So the first thing they start doing is, oh, everybody lies. Everybody lies. Everybody lies. It's okay to lie. It's okay to blatantly lie. It's okay. No, it is not. Not everybody lies. White lies? Yes. Do those jeans make me look fat? Well, I do like the other jeans better. That's a nicer way of putting it. Do you see where I'm going with that? So you can do little white lies to spare somebody's feelings, but these people, they want out and out flat lying, like pathological, like they will lie that the sky is not blue just because they can, because they enjoy it. And then they'll gaslight you and make you think that the sky is red or orange or green or purple or whatever they're doing. So they erode your moral compass, and they'll be like, oh, cheating's fine. Oh, having sex with other people's fine. Well, if that was not your agreement, right? Like, you did not agree to polyamorism, then yeah, no, with a side of no and an extra helping of what the actual. Do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, they break agreements all the time. Unless you have an agreement for a polyamorous relationship or an open relationship, then that's a little different because everybody's on the same page. But with a narcissist, nobody's on the same page. And even in polyamorous relationships and open relationships, if there is a narcissist involved, I can guarantee you there is all sorts of other head games going on that you do not want to be a part of. Whoo, jump back. Okay, so, all right. So they expect you to tolerate it. They will work on making you feel insecure. And this is for a purpose. They don't want to give up a source of narcissistic supply, even if they are getting narcissistic supply somewhere else. That's why they hang on to us. That's why they won't let go, because they're very loath to let go of somebody who is still trying to love them, because it's narcissistic supply. They will say something along the lines of, no one will ever love you like I will. God, I hope not. Seriously. It's like, good. I don't want to be loved like this. This ain't love, because if it hurts, it ain't love. I don't know what the hell it is, but it ain't love. So yeah, it just, So no one will ever love you like I will. Who else do you think is going to put up with you? If someone said that to me, oh, you know what I'm saying. That does not fly. If someone says that to you, don't let it fly. Do not let it fly. No way. Okay. Good luck. And good luck. There's the door. If they tell you to go ahead and leave, get ready, because they will then hoover you, do whatever they can to get you back, to keep you in the game. Because it's a game to them. They don't view us as anything else, and I know this is a trigger for some people, but we're objects to them. We have no more meaning to them than this pen. We are something to be used. Physically, psychically, emotionally, sexually, we are nothing more than an object to them. They have no care for our thoughts, our feelings, our well-being, nothing. If we don't serve them, we don't exist. That is pretty much the way they are. Okay, it's very confusing when you're in a relationship like this that doesn't treat you well, but yet does not want you to leave them. The idea of you leaving triggers the narcissist's fear of losing narcissistic supply. They become frantic, stalking, hello, and they try to block you from leaving, draining the bank account, doing a smear campaign, making so you can't get a job, all those sorts of fun things. Yeah, they will do whatever they can to keep you from leaving. Now, if they leave you, that's perfectly okay in their heads, but if you leave them, oh, Lord have mercy, and that's exactly what you're going to have to do because they are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. Okay, they will become frantic and block you from leaving. They will make up reasons to stop by your home or stop you. This is called hoovering, like the vacuum. They try to suck you back in to get their narcissistic supply again. You may also encounter the opposite, which is they do one of two things. They either hoover you back in to keep the game going, or they will drop you like a hot potato, like you never existed. This can be equally as confusing. The narcissist disappears as if they went into witness protection program. This usually means that the gaslighter has moved on, to their next narcissistic supply. Many people ask me if they should warn the gaslighters or the narcissist's next victim. First, the more you stay away from the narcissist in their life, the better off you will be. Second, you may be told by the narcissist's next victim, oh, so-and-so told me you were crazy, right? Because they've already set it up that you're crazy. You're the villain. You're the bad guy. Just got to break it to you. You're the bad guy. They're the hero, and this is the new victim. So you're crazy, and he told me, he or she told me you would try to do something like this. Yeah, it's been, survivors had every intention of making sure someone else didn't fall prey. Unfortunately, most people don't realize they're in this type of abusive relationship until months or years down the line. And they won't believe you. And sometimes what they do is they then contact you later on. Oh, you tried to warn me. Don't fall for it. Because sometimes that's the narcissist egging them on to get in contact with you. No contact, no contact, no contact, no contact. Go, no contact. That's the best thing you can do. Boot these people out of your life and have nothing more to do with them. If the new supply calls you up crying, here's the name of BetterHelp.com. Hi, go get a counselor. Thanks. Do you see where I'm going with that? It's like you do not engage. You absolutely do not. Do not. It will never end well. Trust me on that one. Okay. They will make you distrust others. As part of the devaluing process, the narcissist will point out people to you that they find attractive all the time. Remember, we talked about that in jealousy. So what they do is they instill jealousy in that person because it's narcissistic supply for them to keep you constantly on edge, to see how far you'll go, to change your body, to change your mind, to change yourself, to please them, to get their attention. Remember, it is a romantic triangle. And it doesn't matter whether the other third wheel is a person they're having sex with or not. You'll be walking down the street and they'll be ogling somebody. Yeah, legs on that one. Look at that butt. They'll be doing that to make you feel insecure. Healthy people don't do that to each other. When you're with your partner, you let your partner know that they're the sexiest thing on the face of the planet. You do. You don't ogle other people in a healthy relationship. Now, do we look? Yes. Do I look at Gerard Butler? Yes. Does John look at Salma Hayek? Yes. But we don't sit there and devalue each other with that. Do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, anyway, it just, don't get me started. The bottom line is this type of personality will continue to cheat on you. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Listen to me now, believe me later. They are serial cheaters, and they can be, serial cheaters. Just leave it at that. They will just continue to cheat in some way, shape, or form. They'll have a porn addiction. They'll, whatever. And they'll make sure that you're insecure watching porn. See, you're not doing this for me. See, you're not doing that for me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How are we doing on time? Oh, good Lord, I've really gone over. Sorry. I will get to the questions. I did want to address one other thing. Okay, so the bottom line is this type of personality will continue to cheat on you regardless of how often they tell you they'll change. Leaving them can be difficult. You're going to have to restructure your life. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to mention is the down low. So oftentimes narcissists are incredibly homophobic. And I've had this happen with clients multiple times. They finally figure out what's going on, hire a private detective, whatever. Turns out they're having relationships with the same sex, but yet to the public, they've been, very nasty and very homophobic, right? So there's a Shakespeare line, the lady doth protest too much. So if somebody is constantly on and on and on about homosexuality and you're thinking they're cheating, there's a good chance. So yeah, and it's, again, they are denying themselves, because there is nothing wrong with being homosexual. There's not. And yet what they'll do, and this pisses me off, they'll come back to the spouse, male or female, and they'll say, you made me be gay. I'm sorry, guys, doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. You are born that way. Lady Gaga was right. You are born that way. So for them to be like, oh, you made me gay. What? So yeah, and they will do that. So again, they couldn't tell the truth if their lives depended on it. Seriously, instead of being like, yeah, I'm bisexual. Yeah, I'm attracted to men. I'm attracted to women, whatever. It's got to be somebody else's fault. But it's kind of like, anything about human sexuality, it does not work that way. So, and yes, there are support groups for spouses who have had narcissistic partners that have, I'm straight. And then it turns out, no, they were doing the down low, which is what it's called, going on the down low. So anyway, it's just, and it's heartbreaking because, they've told you this beautiful picture, this illusion, and then it's literally like somebody throws a rock into the mirror and it gets completely shattered. And it turns out they've got a harem, or, they've been lying to you about, their sexuality, or they've been lying to you about what they want out of life. Well, they're just lying. They just, if their lips are moving, they're lying. Let me just say that. So it goes for male, female, straight, gay. If they're a narcissist, this is the kind of behavior they're going to do. And they will deny their own sexuality and then make it your fault when they get caught, which I'm like, what the? Anyway, okay. So there's that. Let's get to the questions because I've gone way, way over. Okay. How do we communicate professionally without saying narcissistic in terms of courts, therapy, whatever? Behavior. Point out the behavior. So say, for example, you've got you're going up against a narcissist, right? Talk about the abuse. Talk about, this is what they said to me. This is what they did to the kids. This is, they threw the kids up against the wall. They called the police on the kids. They've done this. They've done that. You talk about the behavior. The behavior is what clues people into what the issue is. Does that make sense? You always stick to facts, not just an emotional, they're a terrible person. Well, I'm sure they are, but courts love facts. If you can get documentation, if you can get character witnesses, if you can get police reports, if you can get CPS, DCS reports, that's going to help you. So what you want to do is you want to communicate the behavior. What was the behavior like? So let's say that they would come home and fly into a rage and scream at you for hours. That speaks volumes to me. Of course, I'm a therapist, but you want to go into the behavior. What is the behavior? Because that's how we diagnose. It's not just somebody telling us, because narcissists will never, they do admit that they're narcissists, but they don't understand what it means. So yeah, don't get me started. Anyway, so it's behavior. You look to the behavior. Behavior tells you everything. And that's what you want to do in court cases. You stick to the behavior. They were abusive. Okay, how? Well, they would trap me in the bathroom and not let me leave. They would take away my phone. They would throw the phone at the wall and break it. Sherry, you're welcome. They would throw the phone at the wall and break it. They would, deny food to the kids. They would, whatever. So you stick with the behavior. You never in court want to diagnose them, guys. The only people that can diagnose are professionals like myself. And what you would want is to get a psych eval. And again, that's a real dicey thing. Dwayne and I have been talking about that because, sometimes you get it with a good psych eval and they are able to clue in that, oh my God, this person is completely disordered. And other times you get psych eval people that you just are like, what the actual are you doing? And they'll miss it completely, So yeah, it's a slippery rope. So you want to discuss this, a slippery rope, slippery slope, could be a slippery rope, I don't know. But you do want to discuss it with your attorney and never use technical terms like I do because I'm a therapist. You're not, well, unless you are a therapist, but even then you can't because they need to be diagnosed by somebody else. So I hope that clarifies that. Okay, let me get my cursor over here. Why do narcissists create an invisible triangle? I had an ex who did this, but found out after we broke up that the so-called third party didn't even exist to begin with. Yes, I forgot to talk about that. Okay, so if there is no actual affair, there is no actual third party, they will manufacture somebody for you to be in competition with. Magical thinking. It's all in their heads. It's all in their heads. And they'll either tell you about it. Oh, well, so-and-so is really interested in me, blah, 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 blah. And you're sitting here going, okay. And then it turns out this person doesn't even exist. So if they cannot find an actual narcissistic supply, they will create one to create that illusion. Again, they're masters of illusion, masters and mistresses of illusion. And so what they do is they create this illusion that there's this third party out there that's interested. Oh, well, this girl down at the country club really likes me or whatever, or this guy at the grocery store really whatever. And they will manufacture because they've got to have that drama triangle. They have to have that romance triangle, that drama triangle, because it's all in their head. That's all they got. They don't have reality. They don't. So yeah, that's why they do that. So what kind of questions to ask potential BetterHelp counselor to see if they understand abuse? So you ask them if they're, again, same thing. So all of these counselors are licensed professionals. They are licensed in their state, okay? So they're just like me. They're licensed in their state. They are master's level and they are PhD level. So you're going to ask them the same questions that you would ask any therapist. Are you well-versed in trauma? Do you understand emotional abuse? That kind of thing. Now, they are independently contracted. And so you need to ask them a whole bunch of questions. It's like, can your records be subpoenaed? Can you go into court? So you just ask them the same questions that you would any counselor. You do. So yeah. And do they understand self-esteem? Do they understand anxiety? Do they understand post-traumatic stress disorder? These are the questions. I've done tons of videos on what to ask, and it's no different. You just ask the same questions. You ask them to make sure that it's a good fit. And here's the beautiful thing. If it's not a good fit, you simply go back in through, you say, I want to change counselors, and they'll pair you with another counselor. And if you're really unhappy, they do a full refund. So yeah, that's the nice thing. So, okay, I hope that answered that question. So that's BetterHelp, not health, BetterHelp, 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 like help, BetterHelp.com. And if you go in through the portal, which John posted up at the top, pinned at the top, that's how this gets sponsored. So do that. And you ask them the questions. You interview them. You talk to them. You tell them what's going on. If you don't like it, they'll pair you with another counselor. You just go back in. I like to get another counselor, and they'll pair you up. So, okay. Why do narcs hide behind the excuse of it wasn't emotional when most likely it was? Is it a right or wrong thing or a no emotions issue? Okay, so here's the really hard thing to wrap your head around. They don't have emotions. They don't. They have anger. They're really good at anger. But do they love? No. Absolutely not. They wouldn't know what love was if it walked up and did the Watusi with them, which I think it has, because y'all got involved with them. So for them, when they say it wasn't emotional, they're not lying on that case, because they don't have a connection to a pin. Everyone is an object to them. So it doesn't matter whether it wasn't emotional, you're still stooping somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it doesn't matter. They cheated. They cheated, and you need to be done with them. So yeah, it was an emotional argument. That's no, nope, nope. So yeah, because when you're in a healthy relationship, you don't turn away from your partner. Remember the Gottman thing? You turn towards your partner. You don't turn away and go in two different directions. If there is a communication issue, if there is a sexual issue, you talk to your partner about that. You don't just run out and start doing the Watusi with whoever you can get your hands on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no. Okay, and they don't have emotions. They don't. So of course they're going to say it wasn't emotional, because to them it wasn't. I literally had a narcissist sit on my couch and tell me that they didn't care how they were getting their sexual goodies, as long as they were getting their sexual goodies. Like, it didn't matter to them. Like seriously, like they literally said, male, female, I don't care as long as I get mine. Yeah, they don't care. They don't. And then I kind of was taken aback by that. And I'm like, well, what about your partner? This is back in the day before I fully understood all of this. And the person was just like, oh, I don't care about them. They don't mean anything to me. Oh, yeah. That's how they think, guys. We have no more meaning to them than this pin. Okay. So seriously, we are objects to be used. There is no emotional connection. And even though we think we have an emotional connection to them in the relationship, here's the hard news. We don't. We do to them, but they do not to us. They are not emotionally connected to us. There is no there. Does that make sense? So, okay. Okay. I got away from long-term narcissist. I need help or suggestions with which direction to work on myself. Okay. So again, you're going to need a therapist. If you need a therapist, go to BetterHelp.com or go to my little thing that's pinned to the top, which is https://trybetterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. And so you need a therapist. You need a therapist because why? Because you're going to work on self-esteem. You're going to have to work on self-esteem. Why? Because these people have destroyed it. That is their goal. That is what they want. They want us dead, guys. They really do, emotionally or physically. They don't care. They just want us dead. So what they do is they harm us with the self-esteem, because it feels terrible to be cheated on. It feels awful. And especially when they take that new person and are like rubbing it in your face kind of thing. Like, especially if you live in a small town and they're like, oh, my new boyfriend, my new girlfriend, my new whatever, or you're on Facebook and they're starting to post all these, happy pictures of the happy new couple. Block them on Facebook. That is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to block them on every single social media. Block the phone calls, block the emails. You don't need to see that. And it's all an illusion anyway, because they're going to start the cycle all over again. They cannot help themselves. This is who they are. So you're going to start working on self-esteem. You're going to start working on self-esteem. Glenn Schiraldi, The Self-Esteem Workbook. Okay. Or You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Okay. These are the books that you're going to want to get. Also, The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker, Codependent No More, Beyond Codependent No More, both by Melanie Beattie. So those are all the books that you're going to want to get. You're going to want to start working on self-esteem because they've destroyed our self-esteem. They basically said that we're not good enough. Yep. That's what they're doing. It's like, see, you're not good enough. You couldn't fulfill my needs. You're not good enough. So I got this new one. You're not shiny enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough. You're not rich enough. You're not, whatever their BS story is, that is what they will tell you. So what you want to do is you want to start working on self-esteem. Then you're going to want to get CPTSD, From Surviving to Thriving by Pete Walker. You are going to want to work on that. Get with a good therapist. BetterHelp, HELP.com. I know everybody says health. It's not health. It's BetterHelp, like help.com. So find a therapist on there to help you work on self-esteem. So that's the direction you got to work on, is the self-esteem. You got to get self-esteem going. You've got to realize it's not you. You're not the problem. They are. This is all their pathology. This is not you not being enough. This is about them needing narcissistic supply. Excuse me. So self-esteem, then boundaries with the Harriet Breaker book, The Disease to Please, Codependency No More, Beyond Codependent No More. And then the CPTSD book, obviously, by Pete Walker. So, because you've got to undo all of that damage that they did, because they've been shoving a whole bunch of lies into your head for however long you've been with them. So, and get with a good therapist on BetterHelp.com. Go to my portal, click on there. This is how this show is supported. Click on through there, find a good therapist through there, start working on self-esteem. And ask them if they know about those books. And if they don't, ask them if they'd be willing to help you work those books. Ask them if they'd be willing to help you go through them. So, because that really, it does help. And I do have my clients do that. So when my clients, when I assign books to my clients, I say, okay, read it, bring it to the telehealth, and, let's talk about it. Let's go through what you've been working on so that I can kind of help you process all of this stuff. So yeah, that's what you want to do. All right. Question. My narc ex seemed to have an abnormal disgust with female genitalia, yet he still cheated with females. He was aggressively homophobic, and I always thought he was gay. Was it impulse? Okay, so again, narcissists will destroy whatever they think identifies us or makes us feel good. So having this disgust with any genitalia at all is a huge, ginormous, red flag. So it's just another indication that there is something seriously wrong with that person, because human bodies are amazing. Human bodies are beautiful. I mean, it's amazing what our bodies do for us, mentally, emotionally, sexually, and otherwise. So yeah, especially if somebody's aggressively homophobic, yeah, those are huge red flags. So you've got to be aware of all of that. Okay, so to summarize, if there is cheating going on, 9 times out of 10, you are dealing with a narcissistic personality disordered person. They will make it about you. It's not about you. Best suggestion is get with a damn good therapist to work on self-esteem, because they will have destroyed your self-esteem. They absolutely will have. And they will have tried to destroy your boundaries. They will have tried to destroy your moral compass. They will try to make you think that it's you. You made me do this. You made me gay. You made me, whatever their BS is. So that's all the stuff you're going to have to undo. Please do go get tested, seriously, because they don't use protection and they lie that they did and they haven't. So yeah, do go get tested, get with a good therapist, start working on self-esteem, start working on boundaries. It's not you, it's them. I'm sorry, but a healthy, normal person, if a relationship is not working out, in a healthy, normal relationship, the couple goes, you know what, this is not working. My needs are not getting met. This is what I need. Can you provide it? And if the other person cannot, they go their separate ways. Or if it's a communication issue, they learn to turn towards each other, not away from each other. Gottman Institute, basic couples counseling. Hello. But narcissists don't do that. Narcissists they manufacture fake, harems out there, like we talked about earlier, or they have a real harem out there. They create competition so that you're constantly trying to vie with the other woman or the other man. See, this is what drives me crazy. I will have the target of abuse sitting on my couch, and they will focus all of their anger onto the new target. And I have to stop them, and I have to go, that's the wrong person. The person you need to be mad at is your abuser, the narcissist, this person over here that's going willingly with this new person. This new person hasn't got a frickin' clue what's coming at them. So, it's interesting to see that. And when they finally allow themselves to get angry at the abuser, it is a good and beautiful thing, because that's when the healing starts. So, anyway, huge topic. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Next week, I want to talk about A lot of you have also been writing into me and saying, oh my God, I'm terrified I'm the narcissist, or I'm terrified I'm the problem. All of a sudden, I'm recognizing all of these behaviors that I don't like. Well, we're going to talk about fleas. We're going to talk about fleas, and we're going to talk about how family of origin and how romantic partners want to turn us into them. So if you're worried about being a narcissist, here's a little spoiler. You're probably not. So, because narcissists don't care. They think it's a good thing. So, all right. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. Please, 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 if you are looking for a therapist, you are outside of the United States, or you're living in a community and you just don't like the counselors there, please do go visit BetterHelp, HELP.com. Please use my URL up there because that's how this show gets sponsorship. So yeah, that's it. All right. So next week we're going to be talking about fleas. All right, you guys have a great week. And as soon as I find my cursor, where did it go? All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.